Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to our Eagles Therapy Podcast. I'm Basil,
And I'm Baz.
and we are recording Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. Dad, been a long time, man.
It's been, 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but it's off season, so.
That's right, no, but it's good to be back. It's good to be excited for football season again. I don't know about you. The last few months for you guys at home, I'm not too sure, but for me, the last few months, I've been kind of, not really itching for football. I'm kind of like, oh, I'm okay,
Right.
Still kind of happy that we won the Super Bowl and still, just kind of content and everything. But ever since I've been on vacation this last month, man, I was watching some highlights and I started getting that itch.
Oh, yeah.
And it's coming back. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for football season.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's still hot and everything, it's not like it's fall and we feel cool.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's time. But, it's just that long little time there that you have off and you're like, okay, what do I want to put on TV now? And, there's no sports really, baseball, whatever, It's kind of hard to find. But, yeah, I think it's time. And then you start hearing the sports shows start talking about off seasons getting ready to roll up, and here we go.
Best teams, the favorites, the
lists, right?
Yes.
The lists come out,
and then you start to get kind of get a little excited. So I'm really happy, and for those listening right now, I mean, by the time you're listening, we're 1 week away from the first preseason game of the 2025 season. Who's the Lions and is the Chargers?
Hall of Fame kickoff game or whatever they call it.
Hall of Fame game. What is it? The Lions and the Chargers? Is that what it is?
I'm not really sure. I know it's the Lions.
1 second. Sorry, I know it's the Lions.
Playing.
It might be the Rams. I always get it. No, Lions and Chargers. I'm right. Okay, cool. So in Detroit, right? In Detroit, or no? They do it in. They do it in Canton. Yeah, of course. Yeah, in Canton. So 1 week away basically from the Hall of Fame game. It's there, man. It's right around the corner.
The disappointment for the Chargers fans can start already.
Absolutely.
Good for them.
Maybe the Lions fans too, but. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Talk about some news, talk about the training camp, kind of what we want to see, and we also got a fun little list to do towards the end. But as always, want to give a shout-out to the Philadelphia Eagles Fan Club of Colorado Springs. That is the name of the Facebook page. You can go and join that. If you live in the area and you're an Eagles fan looking for a place to go, we go to Rhino's Sports and Spirits on Powers and Barnes. I always have to remember that. Powers and Barnes.
Yes.
Hope to see you there. We'll let you know updates if we are going to be meeting up for the preseason games. 3 of them this year, of course, starting August 7th for us on a Thursday. So we'll see if we're meeting up. I can't imagine we won't meet at least for one.
Well, the first one's the one that really, I think, you kind of get that football flavor back.
Exactly.
The other games, we barely watch it all.
But also it depends on if they're televised. It's impossible.
But last year it was fun, or on tape delay. But last year it was fun because, you get together for the first time. We had a really good group that time. I remember when we got together and, it was just fun kind of getting to talk about what we did recently and then, how much Super Bowl gear we bought, things like that. So
it's a great time. Yeah, it is. Cool. So, we'll keep you updated on that and hope to see you at those. But let's start off with some news. Going to start off on the low note, on the sad note, just so we can kind of build back during the podcast. Unfortunately, and as it's been posted on the page and shared everywhere around, everyone's aware, but Brian Brahman passed away at 38 years old, former Philadelphia Eagle, played for the Eagles from 2013 to 2015. And then came back for 2017.
Right at the end of the season, really.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah. And,
late season signing.
A lot of people kind of forget just kind of how important he was to the Eagles team when we went there. So he played for us from 14 to 16 and came back in 17 after a small stint with the Saints. But if you remember, I mean, just a quick kind of story, but 2013 to 2014 to 2016, if you remember, the big thing about us in that time period, if you remember, what would you say, the 2014-2016 Eagles, what do you remember them as?
Not very good.
Okay, well, I true, but I remember them as they had the best special teams in the NFL in that span.
Yes, we did.
And I will say it with full confidence, and I know most people know this, Brian Brayman is one of the main reasons.
Oh, he was.
He was the best special teamer in the league for a 3 or 4 year span. He was great with Houston as a special teamer, and then he was great with us. And he was part of it. He was the leader of the best special teams unit for a 3-year span. And I remember, and I know we didn't win Super Bowls in that span, so it's not too memorable, but I remember the big highlight for me during that span was Darren Sproles had his 4 punt return touchdowns. Right. We had the blocked punt return touchdown against the Patriots.
Yes.
We had the blocked punt against the Panthers. We had and Brian Brayman, if you watch a lot of those plays, he's in them.
Yes.
Maybe he's not getting the punt, but the block, but he's always blocking a guy, moving a guy out of the way. Like, he was great at that. And not to understate his importance to us to win the Super Bowl. If you remember, obviously everything's overshadowed by Wentz getting injured that year.
Right.
As far as injuries go. But it is, remember, Jason Peters also got injured. Jordan Hicks got injured. Darren Sproles got injured. And the big one that people forget about, the captain of our special teams, Chris Maragos. He got injured. Later in the season, they brought Brian Brayman before the postseason, and he became the captain of the defense for the postseason. And in the postseason, he had a blocked punt. And in the Super Bowl, he had possibly the biggest under-the-nest play in Eagles history. A tackle on the last kickoff of the game to put them back at the 8-yard line.
It was awesome.
I mean, it was huge. So we will always remember him. He'll always be an Eagles legend to us, and I hope that's the same way for everybody watching and all Eagles fans everywhere.
It's a great highlight to watch that. You're saying that the final kickoff.
Yes.
Because they kind of ate up some clock, and they also almost fumbled. He got hit really early, and then he got whacked.
I just remember Brayman it wasn't even like he nailed him. No. He grabbed him, and he went, nope.
You're not going anywhere.
And he was smart. He didn't shove him to the ground. He went, I'm going to hold you up until the clock gets called.
Yeah.
And he wasted another 3 seconds.
And, of course, if you remember, the game was tight, and there was only so much time left. So, beautiful.
So it can't be understated, his importance to the team during that time period. And being a part of our special teams and the captain of the special teams for the Super Bowl run, it can't be forgotten. We send sad thoughts and prayers to the family, and hopefully they can find peace because it is tragic, passing at 38. But hopefully he'll always be remembered in that span with us and for being a good man.
Definitely.
Let's get into some other stuff. So let's pick ourselves back up. So Joe Douglas is back. He was the vice president of player personnel for us from 2016 to 2019, so he's got a Super Bowl with us before. Really close friends with Howie Roseman. It's a pretty well-documented relationship that they've been close friends, so he's back with us. He's got one of those titles, where he's, the player personnel assistant to the GM, all that sort of stuff. But he is back with the Eagles, which is nice to see. I think he's a senior personnel director and advisor to the general manager. So good to see him coming back. Welcome home. Won a Super Bowl. That's the first time. So seems like a pretty darn good executive. He's been a part of 3 Super Bowl winning teams. So
can't look at that. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then there was a lot of people that thought, after he left, there was a lot of people that thought Howie Roseman was going to kind of struggle because Joe Douglas was his guy, was his main scout guy, the personnel development, his advisor. And to be fair, Howie did kind of struggle with drafting Rager and then drafting J.J. Whiteside, so
he turned it around.
So he turned it around, yes. But to be fair, he kind of maybe did struggle. So Joe Douglas being back, I think, could be a good help to Howie.
You just need another guy to bounce something off of.
Correct. And then the last news before we get into the training camp hopes, Nakobe Dean was put on the PUP list, officially stating that he's going to miss the first 4 games of the season at least. So that's the big news that we have there. So expect to see some other linebackers out there during training camp and a lot of competition to look for that middle linebacker spot opposite Zach Bond.
It's going to give Trotter some preseason work, and
absolutely.
I'm hoping that helps him develop some more as well.
Yep. Yeah. All right, let's get into the training camp. So, Dad, I just have a list. I think it's a list of 8 of the biggest battles that I'm kind of excited for, and we'll talk about some other stuff that happened during practice today during this. But these are the ones I'm most excited for. The first 3 are kind of the obvious ones. The rest of them are just me being me, going, "Oh, I love left tackle, backup left tackle." So let's start with the main one everyone knows about. Let's talk about the opposite safety position. So Reed Blankenship, of course, solidified as the leader of the safety, might become a team captain this year of the safety. The position of safety opposite him is open right now, and the big battle going to be going between 3 guys. Sidney Brown, of course, looks like kind of be the front runner. He got most of the starting spots today. Right. Drew Makuba, who we drafted in the 2nd round out of Texas.
Just signed, yesterday, day before.
Yep. And then Tristan McCollum, I think 3rd or 4th year veteran, who's been with us for some time. Has played some safety last year. Was the number 3 safety last year for the most of the time. So and a Super Bowl winning safety, I guess you could say.
Yes.
But, Dad, what are you thinking to see in that position there?
Well, I'm really hoping Makuba is the guy that they've really touted this offseason. When they drafted him fairly high, they wanted him to be the guy. Of course, Sidney Brown isn't one that I've personally liked for years. He's had some injuries problems, so that's where you kind of hope he can get over that as far as that goes too. But but nice. It's just good that they're pushing him, and they say Tristan, he's got some time and he's played a bunch. I would say, not a large percentage of snaps, but he's definitely played. So, I mean, it's just good to have those guys that have some experience and then work the rookie in, and hopefully, really, I'd like to see him take the position. If not, I really like to see Sidney take it because, he's played well. He's been around for a few years now, but like they say, the injury bug has not been kind to him. So hopefully he can make it around there and have himself a big breakout season this year.
I mean, if you could, to go a little bit off topic, if you had to make a list of the most frustrating injuries of my time as an Eagles fan, or not frustrating, but disappointing, or just obviously Wentz is number one, but I think Sidney Brown goes on that list because, man, when he tore his ACL, it seemed like it was the last game of his rookie year, and he was really starting to he was really starting to figure it out, and he was playing as the slot nickel. He was playing as the nickel back. He was playing as the safety. He was getting playing time, and it was like, oh man, this is great. He's going to have a chance to go forward.
And
tearing his ACL in the last game of the season, the regular season, was just so disheartening.
Which makes it rough the next season. You're not going to get in there. If you watch any of the games, he had some great special teams plays this year, and I believe last year as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this year, definitely, he's made some big plays.
I think when he changed his number.
Yeah.
I think when we drafted him, he was going to wear number 30. He was number 30 in college, and he wears number 21. It's a terrible number for a safety. But yeah, Makuba, 22 years old, out of Texas, like we talked about, played at Clemson as well. And then, Sidney Brown. But the funny thing is, they're draft picks. Everyone knows Makuba was a second, Sidney was a third, but Makuba was the 64th overall. Sidney was a 66th. So There's also, you think about you want the second round pick to get it, but man, they're like the same pick almost, So kind of a funny thing there, but looking for a good competition there.
Yeah, well, plus Sidney's got some speed. I mean, he's got a really good numbers as far as that goes. So I don't know Makuba's, but Sidney Brown definitely, and he brings it, man. He is a powerhouse hitter. I mean, he just plays kind of wild man.
He does. Hair on fire.
Hopefully, that's a good thing, and maybe with this defense, he's able to fit in and still continue to play that. But with that comes some, you make a missed tackle, whatever, and there goes the guy. So hopefully he just learns to rein it in a little bit, and hopefully Fangio can just mold him the way he wants it.
Next position of note, right guard. Looks like Tyler Steen is in the front runner there. He got all the first team reps at right guard today, so it seems like his job to lose. But it was like that last year as well.
Right.
Competition's mainly going to be between him, Matt Pryor, and then the guy we traded for when we got rid of CJ. We got Kenyon Green from Houston. What are you looking to see there? What do you like?
Again, Tyler Steen, I've heard other people talk about him in some of the shows I listened to, and they said he did this bad I thought he stepped in great last year, and I thought he played as well as to be expected for somebody that's just kind of thrown in there. Now, he has been around for a few years now, right, Tyler Steen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, this is a guy that you'd hope would take the position on. Kenyon Green wasn't a former number one pick, so that kind of has got two different sides to it, too. He was a former number one pick, and we've seen former number one picks that we had kind of fall off the scale. So hopefully there's some good competition there. You really don't want to see Matt Pryor take it because he's a 7 or 8 year vet, right? I mean, he's been around for a while. But I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens. We need a road grader type player in that guard position. He's playing next to an all-pro no matter what side he's on. So actually, he's sandwiched between those. So I mean, for him, he just got to learn the position and play a little better. Look what happened last year with Mackay. He took it over and became a phenomenal player as well. So, and he left us. I was hoping he would stay, but let's see what happens, and hope they make the right decision there.
I agree, and I think Tyler Steen's kind of the spot. The one I'm looking at. It's funny because I agree with you. The guys we listen to, a lot of times they talk down, kind of bad about Steen, and you're like, I don't know.
I didn't see it.
So let me ask you that. What was your beside the Cooper Dezeen? Beside any play of the Super Bowl,
right?
What was your favorite play of the year last year?
Oh gosh. Besides the Super Bowl?
Okay, I thought it'd be easy. What you don't know?
I don't know.
It's the Commanders' Saquon Barkley first play touchdown.
Oh, in the NFC playoffs. Oh, yeah.
I was going to say anything but the Super Bowl. What's your favorite play? Yeah. To me, that's mine.
I agree.
And Tyler Steen was in that play. That was the play that Dickerson was out on. So I kind of like it.
So that shows you what he's got.
Not Dickerson. Mekhi Becton was out on. Yes. Sorry. All right, let's talk about
that. Just shows you that he's got what it takes in this situation.
Yep. Let's talk about the outside cornerback position. opposite Quinyon Mitchell. So, of course, the obvious one, Quinyon Mitchell. Oh, my gosh, we didn't touch on this with the safety, but we'll touch on it with the cornerback here. Quinyon Mitchell, of course, being the outside starter on the left side. And then you've got the nickel. You know that's going to be Cooper DeJean. Funny thing, though, with the defensive depth chart notes today, Cooper DeJean did get the start of first team as a safety on the defensive side. When they were in base package with 2 corners and 2 safeties, he was in at safety. And then when they went to the nickel package with the 5 defensive backs, he was at nickel. So interesting thing, Sidney Brown was getting the first team reps there when he was in, but just an interesting thing there. But as far as the opposite of Quinyon Mitchell, Keely Ringo and the Adoree Jackson, what are you looking to see there?
Well, obviously we want Cooper to be on the field as much as possible because
absolutely.
I mean, last year when he came in, that's kind of what changed everything. So, I mean, and it's funny because he kind of overplayed or overshadowed Quinyon, who just played phenomenally. And it's funny how that, kind of worked out because then he had the big play in the Super Bowl. So now he's the darling of the DBs. But
it's kind of funny, I know. His fame is just so large when Quinyon's the better player, really, it feels like.
Well, definitely. And he's brought it, he brought it a little bit earlier in the game, in the season. He started right away. So, I would like to see them continue to use him when they can and keep him on the field. But the big thing is going to be with Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo and see who wins that position. Obviously, going with youth, we would like Ringo to have that position. But if Adoree Jackson pushes him to the point that he's starting, then that's all the best for him.
Sure. Now, you want to have a competition there, that's for sure. If Adoree Jackson wins it, then he wins it. But you do want Keely Ringo going there. Keely Ringo, is a third-year player, right?
Right.
Yeah, third-year player. So I'm trying to do them. Him and Sidney Brown are the same draft, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So him and Sidney Brown are the same draft. No, I might have that wrong now. I don't know.
Sidney was 21, right?
No.
Rookie in 21?
No. He was a rookie in 23. Yeah, and he got hurt. So he's going into third year. Keely Ringo is 23 as well. So yeah, he's a 23 guy.
Okay.
So sorry, I'm sorry, but no, him. Yeah, well, Ringo's only 23 years old,
and he's played 3 years or going on
his third season. So yeah, so him and Sidney Brown drafted the same year. Okay, that makes more sense. I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure things out. Keely Ringo's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the speed. He ran a 4.3, and he's 6'2". So you really want that size and that athleticism on the outside over there is really what you're looking for. But you never know.
I mean, he's taking over for Slay, right? I mean, so we need him to be the guy, maybe not the guy that Slay was, but at least close to that.
Yeah.
We're going to need him. Quinyon's going to do his lockdown like he did last year, so hopefully Keely can get the position. I mean, he's fairly young, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, give the guy a break when he was 21 when he came in the league, right? Or 20, whatever. He was very young.
So going back to the first topic we were talking about, Sidney Brown, Tyler Steen, Keely Ringo, all the same draft. I thought so, but I couldn't. It didn't get in my mind. Funny thing, other guys we added that same year: Eli Ricks and Ben Van Sumeren. Fullback Ben Van Sumeren.
Right.
That's the funny thing. Okay, let's get into the defensive end talk. This is where really I'm the most. I get really excited about kind of our defensive end position, and everything, because this is really the first year in a while that we don't have a lot of for sures. So in the past 5 years, you've always had BG, throw in Sweat. You had Hassan for 2 years there as well, Reddick. There's always been names that you're kind of like, okay, here we go. That's set. This year's very different. So we go in obviously with Nolan Smith as the clear-cut number one guy that we've loved ever since he was drafted, and we always fought for him to get on the field, and they finally listened. Yes, they did. Sirianni listened to the podcast.
I agree.
And then Jalix Hunt looking like the clear-cut number 2. But other than that, you got a couple other big names, not really big names, but known names. Right. Azeez Ojulari, Joshua Uche, Patrick Johnson, who's been on and off the team a few times, O'Shawn Mathis, and then I like to point out the rookie, Antoine Powell-Ryland, who I'm kind of excited for as well. Right. So what are your thoughts on that defensive end rotation? Well, what do you want to see here? I'm
hoping Ojulari can become a guy that's going to be right in there, like in the heavy rotation.
Agreed.
And some of the other guys you mentioned, hopefully they can get to play. But, like a guy like Patrick Johnson, who's been around for a while, maybe not. But Uche as well, hopefully he can do something early and then say, okay, he's a guy. So if we can get those 4 guys running with Nolan Smith and Hunt, who I thought had a great postseason. and it was just getting better and better.
His last, 6 games, really, even before the postseason, it just changed. It
clicked.
Yeah.
He caught fire. He understood what was happening. They were using him the right way, and he made some great plays in the Super Bowl. I mean, he was all over the place.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that those two newer, bigger name type
Uche
guys,
and Ojulari,
are not dogs. They're definitely come in and just can play, and all of a sudden we're relieved because we know we're okay there.
Yeah. And the biggest thing you're looking for with Ojulari is staying healthy. When he's been on the team, he has been very productive.
Right.
But just
a lot of time.
That's the thing. He's missed a lot of time.
Like a lot of time.
Yes. He's yes.
He's been on 50% of the time. Right?
He's been on injured reserve several times. But he has had seasons of, I think, 5.5 sacks, a couple times, 11 sacks. I think he had not 11 sacks, but 8 sacks one season, 5.5 sacks, 5.5 sacks. So he's very productive when he's on the field, but it's about staying on the field.
Yes.
And then Uche is different. He's not been injured often. He's pretty readily available. But he hasn't been super productive except for the 1 year that he was. He had 11 sacks one season, something like that.
Yeah.
And you're kind of looking for
repeat of that.
Yes, that's the thing. And you don't really know how much of a repeat you can get because how much are they going to be on the field with the other two guys?
Right.
Is this going to continue forth with the whole rotation thing we've been doing for the last 10 years, or are they going to move back to a different – I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because towards the end of the year, they kind of went away from the rotation so much.
Yes.
They still used it, but not as much. And in the Super Bowl, it didn't seem like they were rotating much at all. It just seemed like you guys get out there, same guys playing the whole game type thing. So we'll see how that shakes down, but hopefully they can avoid falling into the traps when they have their bad years and issues. So
next one is the defensive tackle rotation. So the obvious ones, we don't even have to mention them, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. And then after that, there's the little discussions. You have Mora Ojomo, Thomas Booker, Ty Robinson, the draft pick. Who are you thinking? I mean, we talked about Ojomo before. That's kind of been our guy that we're riding with as the next Milton Williams, the next guy to kind of step up, who's been waiting and he's been kind of grooming
and learning.
Exactly.
I think Ty Robinson, there's been a lot of talk, a lot of talk about how well he's looked from some of the offensive linemen, some of the other defensive linemen have talked about him. Obviously, it's just, we haven't really seen real action yet. But, that would be my guy. I'm hoping he becomes the third one. And Mora Ojomo as well. I mean, when he played great. Booker, he's been a spotty player, but he's shown up before too. So it puts you in a good position. You're not worried, I don't think.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm a guy who's excited for Mora Ojomo. I've been ever since we drafted him. I remember he was on the PFF, the top 100 board. The year before he was drafted, or the year he was drafted, he was on the top 100. And the year before he was drafted, he was like a projected early pick. It didn't end up happening for him.
Right.
But he's always been highly rated by the PFF group and everything like that. So
the percentages of what do you call them, block wins?
Yes, pass-win ratio, stuff like that.
Correct. So hopefully he can just improve on it and become the Milton Williams of this year.
Yes, that's what we need.
Except he doesn't leave at the end of the year.
Correct. The next one I'm really excited for. This is where I start to hear yawning on the fans listening, maybe. And it's what I love. I'm an offensive line guy. The backup swing tackle. So, obviously, the starting tackles are set with Mailata and Lane Johnson. It's the best starting offensive tackle duo in the league, without a doubt. After that, you got Kendall Lamb, who's the veteran, who's been around the block and kind of he knows what's going on and everything like that. But I just wonder if they want to look for someone rookie-ish. I know they prefer to have the veterans. That's just kind of who they are. Kendall Lamb is getting the second team spots right now. There's also young guys, Darian Kennard, Miles Hinton, and Cameron Williams, the two guys that we drafted this year. Names I'm really excited for. Miles Hinton, I think, out of Michigan, Cameron Williams out of Texas. Right. So big schools, big names. Big positions.
His dad played for many years, so he's got the pedigree right there.
Correct. So that's
Williams is the one that they've
Texas. Yeah,
they said if he went back, he would have been the higher pick this year. But that's elementary, right?
Yeah. So that's just something I like to point out. I like to have that discussion of what do you think of the backup swing tackle position? Is Kendall Lamb clear cut, no competition, or do you think someone can push for that?
Well, I mean, with the age that we have for our right tackle and then our left tackle there that was missing some games last year, we're going to need a guy to step in.
That's a good point.
So hopefully it is, again, you always want the young guys because then that gives you that
leads into next thing.
Right, 2-3 years to re-sign type thing. And
that's how Mailata worked out.
Exactly.
I mean, Mailata came in 2020 when
sat around for a while.
Everyone was hurt, and he was amazing right away.
That's what you need, and we still have Scotland, being our lineman. So I mean, our line coach. So hopefully he can, do what he's done with the other guys.
Yep, that's right. And then another thing I want to talk about real quick. Okay, I have two more. Let's do my eighth one first because I want to talk about the other one longer. Wide receiver 3. The obvious wide receiver 3, as everyone will say, is Jahan Dotson because he stepped up towards the end of the season. He had a really big play in the Super Bowl, really big play in the wild card. He came up big when he needed to. But I am interested in seeing all the practice notes of just how it looks like Terrace Marshall has been playing pretty well, former third-round pick. Anaya Smith is kind of jumping into the scene, and then Johnny Wilson is still around there, and they really like that big guy, Johnny Wilson.
Dotson's never had a full training camp with us. This year he's got the whole thing. He came in late last year. Of course, how many passes are we going to have to go around?
Yes.
But that's okay. You still need those guys to make the plays. And like you say, last year Johnny Wilson played an awful lot because he's a good blocker.
Yeah. And
Anaya Smith really didn't get much time. So you are looking at a situation where number 3 is going to have a lot more competition.
That's right. So what do you think there? You think it's Dotson's dead and gone, or do you think
Dotson was he a second or a first round pick?
It's a first round pick.
So
first round pick.
Only a few years removed from that. So hopefully he takes a huge step up and brings the other 2 guys with him.
Agree with you there.
But I would like to see Dotson stay the 3rd.
Yeah. The last one I'm really excited for, and I just want to talk about this. I'm a big fan of the captain stuff when it comes to the captain of the teams or this guy. And I wanted to mention defensive captain. So both of our captains from last year on defense are gone. Brandon Graham and Darius Slay. And then there's also, last year if you had to guess who would step into that role as the defensive captain, you would think it's C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Well, he's gone as well.
Yeah.
So I really have to ask you, Dad, there's going to be a whole new line of defensive captains. It changes every year. There could be 2, there could be 3, there could be 1. Last year there was 4 offensive and 2 defensive and a special teamer. So it all changes.
Right.
But what do you have here? What do you think? Who do you think is most likely to step up to that defensive captain?
Well, I'm hoping it's either, and I know they probably won't go to the defensive lineman, so that's not
BG, Cox.
Yeah, defensive end, but he was, he'd been here forever. I mean, Jalen Carter would be great to see, but most likely it's going to be somebody like a Reed Blankenship, who I hate to say it, it's just that he just seems to be the guy that's kind of covers all the bases and he's on both sides of the line and knows everybody, and he's kind of been that guy. It seems like makes the big plays at the end of the game, kind of keeps the very humble type, and I think that's the kind of player you want to be that player, but you never know. I mean, I doubt they would go with Quinion or Coop just because of the types.
I agree.
But, I mean, it would be good to see, but, I mean, it also could be Bond because of the year he had last year, and he's the same kind of player where he's in the middle of it all, and he works with the line and the DBs and everybody. So I guess maybe Blankenship and Bond would be my guesses.
You took the words out of my mouth, you jerk. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. No, I 100% agree. The one that the fans would want, the one that we would want, you want it to be Jalen Carter. Because you want that guy to be. That is our best player on the defense. Yes. Maybe the team,
maybe the league. So I'm just saying.
True. But you want him to be that that captain and everything. But I had it written down as well. I do think most likely captain will be Reed Blankenship. Not just because of that. We do know in the past that when N'Kobe went down one year, one game, he left the game with the green dot. He was the guy calling the defense. Right. The green dot didn't go to Bond. It went to Reed Blankenship. So we do know Blankenship knows how to call a defense. It seems like he's kind of that guy. Maybe he's got the smarts, the IQ, or something.
That was what I wanted to avoid saying, is the cerebral part of it. Because Jalen Carter could be a freaking Mensa for all we know. But I'm just saying that it just appears to be that's the guy where they give it to the guy. But you're right. I would love to see Jalen Carter get it because he needs to get first team All-Pro. He needs that because he is the player. Yeah. And it's so funny how he gets overlooked. I don't know how you can, but if you watch the game, you know that is the one guy.
Yeah.
But, it's funny. The announcers say it, but if he's not number 15 on that list this year, I'm going to make some noise.
I wonder, yeah.
I do too. I mean, because that's the kind of player that will get overlooked or, well, he hasn't done it for 5 years now.
Yeah.
He's done enough in 2, 3, whatever.
Yeah. So I agree, though. I had thought it'd be Reed Blankenship and Zach Bond. I think hot take alert. I'm just kidding. If Zach Bond, if Nakobe Dean hadn't gotten hurt, it could have been him.
I think so too.
I do think because he's going to be missing time, it just can't be. But I think it will be Reed and Zach Bond. I do.
But it's funny because we don't get to see the sideline. I mean, you get to see it from like the Super Bowl with Barkley. He was the super captain. Keep it down. Don't get.
The CJ was huge on that.
Some of those other guys were. Going over and saying, hey, man, that was a great play, and I don't understand why, they called this, or they're holding you on every call, or whatever.
Well, they always showed on the sideline when the defense was, after the long drive by Washington against us in the NFC Championship game, that C.J. Gardner-Johnson had the defense, and we got to pull it together, all that sort of stuff. So, it felt like, he's that kind of guy, because Slay... Slay always is he's a talker. He talks a lot to the other team, but I don't know if it was ever clear he was like the leader of the defense.
That's a bad thing. Everything's different, but
I feel like this is it's a new regime. Slay and Graham are gone, and CJ's gone, and it's time to figure out who's the leader of the defense.
And you need that guy that's going to pull everybody together and pull a guy up who makes a mistake or whatever, and say, "Hey, chill out." So
it's like the Lane Johnson, the Jalen the Jalen Hurts. Really, Lane Johnson to me is even though the quarterback, he's the quarterback. Right. To me, Lane Johnson's the captain of the offense. He's in charge. You know what I mean? But okay. Speaking of top 100, I like that you mentioned that. You mentioned the top 100. So that right now the NFL top 100 is coming out week by week, or day by day, which I can't stand. I think
it's week every other week.
Friday. They release them. They release the numbers a few by day.
Gotcha.
So right now we're the 23rd, so July 21st to July 25th, they're releasing 70 to 61.
Gotcha.
I can't stand it. Give me the whole list right now. Make it a 5-day thing, sure, but I can't stand that. We're not going to know who number one is until September 1st. That's the dumbest thing. It really, I can't stand it. But two Eagles on it. One, I guess, former Eagle, you would say. He's no longer on the team, but Josh Sweat was ranked at number 95. As an Eagle, and then Jordan Mailata, number 68. So, no, I'm sorry, number 69. He's number 68. You threw me off when you said that. Was ranked as number 69. So, I wanted us to do something fun. We can talk about the list later when it all comes out, but I wanted us to do a list. We're going to do a list of our top 15 Eagles players going into the 2025 season. So we both made separate lists. We have not shared them. We don't know who's. I assume we have a lot of the same players, but we don't know who's each other's are. We're gonna go 1 to 15. I thought it'd be boring if we did one. I thought it'd be boring if we left one for last because I think it's gonna be the same guy.
Okay.
Or is it not?
Probably not. Who knows?
Okay. What do you think? You want to go 15 to 1?
15 down to 1.
Okay.
Because I got in trouble a couple years ago for doing it.
Yeah, but this way it feels more like I feel like our top 5 is going to be the exact same. So it's like, well,
I've heard some lists, and it's funny because I like to put little comments down. So when I say my player, I say, because of this.
Okay. Let's go 15 to 1. Who's your 15th best player of the Eagles going into 2025?
Jahan Dotson.
Whoa.
So see. That would.
You're right. I've got Cam Jurgens.
Okay. All right.
14.
I got Reed Blankenship.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm sure we'll match up.
No, we will. All right. 13.
I got Cam Jurgens.
I got Nolan Smith.
Okay. So we're close.
All right. 12.
I got Nolan Smith.
Dallas Goedert.
Okay. Now Goddard did not make my list.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Dotson didn't make mine, so that's probably the big one. Yeah.
And now, just for Nolan Smith, I have playoff sacks. Better as the season went on. I just have little notes.
That's fine. 11.
I have Devontae Smith, and all I have written there, and there's the dagger. So, and again, the list is hard to come up with because you're like, well, what's it mean? What does it mean? Does that mean that you think he's not that? No, he's a top 11 player, and I think he has a huge role.
Yeah. So my 11, I've got Cooper DeJean.
Okay.
Very good. Number 10.
I got Cooper DeJean.
Okay. I've got Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay.
You got 9?
Quinyon Mitchell.
I've got Lane.
So I put Quinyon in ahead of Cooper.
Me too.
Because playoff picks.
I mean,
now it's got Cooper says, obviously Super Bowl pick 6. Yeah. but playoff picks because Quinion had such a rough year with the picks. Because if he had 4 or 5 picks, he'd have been an all-rookie player.
He would have been all-pro. Probably would have won Rookie of the Year, but yeah.
That's what I was getting at.
That was number 9?
That was number 9.
Okay, I had Landon, you had Quinion. Okay. Number 8.
I have Lane Johnson, 5-time All-Pro.
Whoa, I've got Devontae Smith.
Okay, so we've hit on the same players. We just have how we feel about them. And this is how I feel like Lane Johnson, obviously very important player, but I think there's a few other guys that are rising as he's staying the same, if you will.
True. All right, 7.
I got Zach Bond.
I got Jordan Mailata.
Okay.
Or was that 7 or was that 8?
That was 7. That was 7. My 8 was Lane Johnson.
Your 8 was Lane Johnson. Okay, yeah. Okay, so 7 was Jordan Mailata. Okay, my 6. Oh, what's your 6?
My 6 is Jalen Hurts.
So my 6 is Zach Bond.
Okay, so we're still, like I say, right in there. Now this is where we really change. You're going to probably get
probably.
Number 5, I have Dickinson.
You have Dickerson.
Yes, I have Dickerson.
Okay. So hold on. 5, 4. I already said Zach Bond was 6.
Yes.
Right? Sorry, mine's not numbered because it's the letter.
So I had Zach Bond as 7. You have him as 6. So we just right teetering. Then my 6 was Jalen Hurts.
Okay. My 5. Let's go to 5. Okay, sorry. You said 5 was
Dickerson, perennial Pro Bowl 3-timer.
My 5 is Jalen Hurts.
See, it's funny that I would think you would think that I would have Hurts number 1, or you would have Hurts number 1. No, and I don't necessarily feel that.
It's not a dig on Hurts that he's not the best player on our team.
No, I don't think he has to be the best player.
I agree
either. He's got a team manager. He's got to run the show.
And this isn't us bashing him. Okay, let's just go ahead and set the record straight. Last year we bashed him. This year we're done. Yeah. We're done bashing him. We're done bashing him.
Yeah.
I still think he's the 5th best player on the team. Okay. And you think he's the 6th?
Yes.
Okay.
Dickerson is my 5th.
Number 4.
Number 4, I have Jordan Mailata.
So number 4, I have Lane Johnson. I have to keep him up there.
Okay, so you got him up there, and I have Mailata a little bit higher. And I say right here, I just break needs first team All-Pro. Last year he was second team.
He should have won first.
I'm just saying. It was missed a few games, but
Mailata.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Lane was second team, and he should have been first team.
Agreed.
And he didn't let up any sacks, and the guy who got first team let up 2 or 3, and it was like, how does that make sense?
It's just the way they do it. Okay. My number 3.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley.
Whoa. Okay.
So when I say here, I'm just saying this. He will not match last season. And everyone is getting crazy. I don't think you should be drafting him number 1 overall in your fantasy league, just because there's no way you can put up 2,500 yards and have the record for the most yards ever in a season, including playoffs,
and do it again.
You can't do it. So, like as we were speaking earlier, I'd said to you, we were talking about making a list of what we need to happen, and I think what we need to happen is the 2 other running backs, they need to pick up him this year.
I agree.
We need Shipley, and we need
Dylan.
Dylan to just throw in 5, 6, 800 yards so we can set him down. Okay.
Your number 3 was Saquon. My number 3
is
Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2?
Number 2 is A.J.
Brown. Let's give you the same A.J. Brown. Yep, that's easy. It's easy.
Top 5 receiver.
A.J. could be number 1. I mean, the thing about A.J., and we talked about this off screen a few days ago. As sure all the fans have seen, there was the rankings of the quarterbacks, and there was the ranking of the wide receivers that came out and everything like that. And A.J. was number 5.
Right.
And I'm fine with that. I'm not going, oh, gosh. And I kind of agree. I don't think A.J. is the best wide receiver in the league. And I told you, I'm like, I don't think A.J. is the best wide receiver in the league. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, I mean, God, come on. Right. But I got to tell you, when you watch him play and you go, so that's the best wide receiver in the league. Like when I'm on the off season, it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, he's top 5 for sure, top 3 I could say even. But when you watch him play, like if you were drafting wide receivers, I'm like, I think I'd have to take him first.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think he's the best wide receiver, how can I not take him first? Just funny. I got to say
1 or 2 guys that I would probably, if I had to, would pick. But if A.J. needed to be the best wide receiver in the league, he would be.
Absolutely
If Jalen Hurts needs to throw for 4,500 yards, he could do it easily. Look at his deep ball. It's one of the best deep balls in the league. And it's so funny when these guys, Hurts, he's not in the top 10, but he's good. He's got a great team. In the Super Bowl, he polished off everyone else by just throwing these beautiful passes. And A.J. was open Hey, you need me to get open? I'll get open.
Yeah.
You don't need me on this play? I'm just going to go sit over here. Because he did. I mean, it's just amazing. Okay, so my number one.
So it's obvious who your number one is.
It's obvious.
And you know who mine is.
And it is.
Yeah.
It's Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
He is the best player.
I noticed you didn't say his name, and I'm like, wow.
No, he's number one, hands down. This guy, it's so funny because I watch these lists and I listen to these guys talk. And, and when they're doing the announcing of the game, they point to him. But then when it comes time to give the Pro Bowl and all that, he's kind of pushed.
He was a Pro Bowl. He was a Pro Bowler and a second-team All-Pro last year.
Which is fantastic. But he is, and then they always bring up Chris Jones, who's great. Watch the Super Bowl. Just watch the Super Bowl. Who was on the sidelines with his head down? Who was knocking guys around like it wasn't even funny?
And the other thing about Jalen Carter.
And Chris Jones, he doesn't get double-teamed. I watched the Eagles line. They didn't double-team him. They blocked him.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter's got 3 guys looking at him from every angle, every single play. It's unbelievable.
The other thing about Jalen Carter, and I said it to Ben during the Super Bowl sitting next to me, and I said, man, it's funny because Jalen Carter, he's probably not going to get a sack because it was like the fourth quarter at that point. He's probably not going to get a sack, but he's the only reason everybody else has a sack. He's the only reason that Sweat has 2.5, and Milton has 2, and Davis has 1, and Hunt has a half.
Hunt had a full.
I know it is a bad one.
They took away. They gave Sweaty the half. That's just fine.
He's the only reason. He's the only reason everybody. He's the only reason that the defensive line got that many sacks in the Super Bowl is because of him. I'm not saying the other guys aren't good. Sorry, but
I do think that he got the respect that he's been pushing for after the Super Bowl because you just can't watch that game. You're looking at the guys running outside and tackling Mahomes in 2 seconds, but the reason Mahomes had nowhere to go was because he was right in the front just knocking everybody off the ball. It was amazing.
This year for Carter, it's all about first-team All-Pro and Pro Bowl because the other thing, if you get Pro Bowl this year, that means you're 2 Pro Bowls in 2 years, and he's going to be the Pro Bowler for the next 7 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if All-Pro, you were second team, and then your first team, and you have a Super Bowl, now he's building Hall of Fame case. You know what I mean?
That, he's also kind of pulled himself back from being a little bit of
I would agree.
Overzealous, but I can't imagine, why not be pissed? These guys are grabbing my shirt and turning me around and no one's throwing a flag. So, I think he is the best player going into the season, and I think he's top 5 player in the league. And I think it's going to happen this year because those guys are not going to be able to handle them. They're not going to be able to hold them.
Yeah.
They can't, if they got called for every hold, kind of like Luvu got called for every offside. If they called every hold, the game would take 4 hours, and they would win by 40 points every time. The guy's amazing.
My number one, I am still keeping Saquon Barkley up there. I respect the Carter thing. I have him at number 3, but I am putting Saquon at 1. I think with this offensive line, it's only getting with Steen. It's got younger. Basically, everyone got older, but I think it's just. I think he's still. I agree with you. He's not going to have the 2,000 or anything like that. I'm not expecting that, but I still think he's going to be. I think he's going to be one of the first people that does the whole. Oh wow! After his 2000 season, no one ever does well. I think he is. I'm not going to say he's going to go 2,000 again. I do think he's going to have 14 or more. I think he's going to have 1,400 or more. I do.
Okay. And that's I'm good. I
just think last year the other thing they talk about is when you run a guy into the ground, he just it affects him. Well, in the postseason, he didn't really get ran into the ground.
Not really.
Super Bowl, he got tackled a lot, but the other thing is when you start to fall down, when you start to go down, is when you're taking all the hits. Like, oh God, he had 350 carries. That's 325 tackles. Not him.
No.
Last year how many times was he tackled?
Well, how many long touchdowns did he have?
Yes, I know. It's just there was so much less stress on his body.
How many fourth quarters was he sitting on the sidelines watching?
That's the other thing. I think this year we could also be. I think I don't like to talk about the repeat. I'm not a fan of it because there's only been 7 repeats in 59 years of Super Bowls, so I don't like to talk about it because odds are it won't happen. But I'm just at the point where I think with Saquon, I think we're a good enough team, and we're a great enough team to where Saquon, there's going to be games he doesn't have to play the whole second half. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's the path. I think that's the path. But we have a lot of time to talk about it. But I do think we're going to throw the ball more. I really do. I think we're going to throw a lot more checkdowns to some of the other backs like Shipley. I think we're going to use some more of it's a short tight end type stuff, just like we have in the past. But I think they're going to, they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out, and I think they're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But we have plenty of time to talk about that.
That's right.
Cool.
That's
good
all.
being back, man.
I know, it's great. That's
We're
great.
talking Eagles football.
I know. It is wonderful. That's all I have on football. We'll touch on some other sports real quick. Let's talk about the Phillies first. Phillies right now 58-43, sitting first in the NL East. They play against the Red Sox again tonight. I almost said Bruins. They play against the Red Sox again tonight, going for the sweep. Sanchez last night had 12 strikeouts, his career high in strikeouts. He was amazing. Played a complete game. But yeah, they're doing pretty good right now. They're starting to catch a little bit more fire. Schwarber, we got to mention, got that All-Star MVP, which was cool. With the swing off, he got all 3 home runs.
The NL All-Stars won the All-Star game, which never ever happens.
Yeah, I know. Which is funny because you think that Shohei Ohtani's on this team. Why can't we win it? But Schwarber gets the All-Star MVP, which was great. Harper's on a hit streak that's just incredible. Real Muto's playing great. So the Phils are doing pretty good right now. So just keep it up with them. The Union, 14-5-5. They did fall out of the first in the Eastern Conference.
Cincinnati?
They fell to the third. Yes, yeah. They drew a game, and Cincinnati won a game, so pushed them up. They're still all tied they're all close in points. Cincinnati has 48 points. The Union have 47. So we're all good. We'll get there again. The Sixers, I wanted to mention, of course, the draft happened. We drafted VJ Edgecombe, point guard, shooting guard. Very excited for that player. I think he's got a lot of potential. Definitely some shooting that he needs to improve upon. But I think as a defensive player, he's really good, and I think it can be a big compliment to Embiid and Maxey as that small forward shooting guard meld that we're looking for.
Nice.
I'm also excited for some college football to come back.
Yeah.
I haven't talked much about Penn State, but I was listening to Colin Cowherd today when I was driving to work, and he was talking about, or not driving to work, driving here.
Right.
He was talking about, next year, it's pretty, it's very likely that the draft next year, the picks go Drew Aller and Arch Manning. So Colin Cowherd and a lot of the people around the sports media think that Drew Aller is going to be number 1 pick into the NFL. The Penn State quarterback, of course, if you don't know who I'm talking about. So exciting season going into it. Our defense is really going to be good. We're bringing back a lot of guys, including our quarterback and the offensive line. So I'm excited for Penn State. They were 1 game away from the national championship last year.
Yes,
so I'm pretty excited for that, and not as excited as Eagles football, but still, I'm excited for it, and I'll give it some attention. When do they start up?
Well, it's probably
August 31st or something, I would say. Not that late, but August 28th, August.
Seems like every year they get a little bit.
August 30th, Penn State, first game. It's against Nevada. The early season college is always kind of boring because you're like, all right,
why the first game?
Why is ASU playing U of A? Let's come on. But no, still though, excited for that season as well though. You got anything else, Dad?
No, man, that's great.
Cool. Let's say our goodbyes. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. If you like our Eagles Therapy podcast, do us a favor. Rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Comment down below. Drop us a comment how you're feeling about training camp, what you're excited for. Go give us your top 15 Eagles players if you can. And also let us know what battles you're looking forward to in training camp and who you kind of expect to come out on top. You can email us any questions at oureaglestherapy@gmail.com. But other than that, from all of us here at Our Eagles Therapy Podcast, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.